Good morning, Clint. Can you hear me okay? Or Johnny, can you hear me okay? I can't hear you, so I'm going to come in on another device.
Okay.
Oh, I hear you now. Yeah, I'm coming in on another device.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing, Johnny?
Good. Yourself?
Oh, I'm doing fine. All things considered, yeah. So the parking lot still looking
looks like
a parking lot. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's progress.
Well, we got one resident has moved back in, but
well, you'll spread the word, I'm sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're getting some folks here. Did Cherie get on yet? Or
No, I don't see her yet.
I see we've got the meeting notes,
Right.
AI presence, huh?
Yes.
That's interesting. I don't quite know what to make of that. Who turned it on? Cherie, I guess. Huh?
I have no idea, but that's probably a good guess.
Andrew, I think.
Say what?
I think it was Andrew.
Oh, you did?
Okay.
Yeah, there was actually mine is an AI note taker. I'm not
Uh-huh.
sure. I'm not sure if that's my meeting summary or not. Someone else might have done that. I'm not sure.
Well, I know Cherie had put one into this site, so I thought it would be her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Huh?
Mine is a note taker, so likely hers is an AI reader.
Oh. No, I think hers is it's you see at the bottom it says meeting notes.
Yeah.
So I think yeah. All right, so it looks like we're getting a few folks here. I've got 10:04. We'll give it one more minute and then we'll just get started with our introductions and go forward. Okay, well, let's get started. Welcome everyone to the Leimert Park Village Crenshaw Quarter stakeholders meeting for August the 5th. This is our monthly meeting regarding circumstances, events, and issues in Leimert Park Village and the Crenshaw Quarter. My name is Clint Rosemond. I'm the co-convener along with Johnny Raines. Let's get started. We just want to know who's on the call and who or what you represent. And then we'll get back to whatever you have to contribute after we do the introductions. So let's start with Andrew. You want to get us started, Andrew?
Well, thank you so much. I'm Andrew Williams Jr. I'm president of 5 Points FIVE Points Youth Foundation at Florence and Western. But I'm here also as a member of the Activities Committee for the Westminster Baptist Church at 2300 Fifth Avenue. We do have slots available for sober living tenants. So if you have a challenge there in Leimert Park, please inbox me, Andrew, at andrewnetworks.com. Thank you.
Did you put that in the chat so that people can access it later? Okay.
I'll move now. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, Johnny.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Johnny Raines. As Clint mentioned, I'm the co-convener of this August group. Welcome, everyone, if it's your first time, and welcome if you're returning.
Okay, and we have Lisa Davis.
Hi, good morning. My name is Lisa Davis. She, her pronouns. I am coming in from the Department of Cultural Affairs for the City of Los Angeles. This is my first meeting. I think someone from LA Commons told me about this great group, and we are renovating one of the historic firehouses in the area to become an art center. I oversee the Community Art Center division within the DCA, and so I wanted to get more in touch with the community and just learn more about, as you said, what's going on and how we can support.
Okay, thank you. Whoever there is there representing LA Commons, normally that's the leader, but I don't know. It just says LA Commons, so LA
Yes.
Commons.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nia McClinton. I work as a cultural organizer. I'm here on behalf of Karen Mack and LA Commons. Particularly, we're here interested in how we can support the events and happenings in Leimert Park through the community's interest in arts and cultural events. Nice to see you all.
Okay, and I missed, is this Imani?
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Good
My
morning.
name is Imani. I'm a member of the African Village Vendors Association in Leimert Park.
Okay, thank you. Kaya.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Kaya. I'm one of the organizers for We Love Leimert.
Thank you, Kaya. Milan.
Hi, everyone. I'm Milan. I'm Sika's daughter, and I'm one of the co-organizers of We Love Leimert.
Okay, and we'll get back to you a little later. Jason.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jason Lewis, owner and publisher of the Los Angeles Standard newspaper and a Leimert Park resident.
Okay, Janae. Janae, are you there? Okay. Kiana.
Hi, this is Kiana McGee. I am a resident in Leimert Park. I am the president of the Norton Ave Block Club Neighborhood Association. I am an EQUA board member, and I'm the owner of Leimert Park Wine.
Leimert Park Wine.
That's right.
All right, so we'll talk to you a little later about plans and projects or whatever. Nigel.
Hi, good morning. Nigel X here. I'm a resident and also one of the organizers with We Love Leimert.
Okay, all right. So we've got a few first-time participants here this morning. Let's go back to Lisa Davis. You're with us for the first time from the Department of Cultural Affairs.
Sure.
The department used to participate regularly and substantially in these meetings, but they've been absent for a while. So it's nice to see that there's representation again. We'd like for you to bring us up to date to the extent that you can. Sure. In terms of what's going on with the plans for opening the Vision Theater and what some of the issues are that need to be dealt with prior to that happening, and any other issues that you think may be of concern. So go ahead.
Sure. So so I can just let you know that you probably haven't heard from us for a while since my predecessor, Leslie Thomas, retired in 2020, and then there was a pandemic, and and there's been various people sort of standing in this place, but not really, not having this job as a full-time job. I started last year, and I've been catching up on everything that needs to happen throughout Los Angeles, which is a lot with community arts division. I do oversee the community arts division. Vision Theater is under performing arts division, which I think is a fairly new thing. So I cannot give you a report on vision, but what I can do is invite Nikki Genovese, who is the director of that division, into this meeting for the next time. So she can give that report. So for community arts, I manage the what will be, hopefully what was, I guess the Manchester Junior Art Center was within Vision at some point, and it has now been relocated outside of Vision. The space, so community arts, we do workshops and events, usually smaller events. We don't do performing arts, does sort of the citywide festival, other centers. But this one is what's called a Proposition K developed center. So we're relying on Proposition K funding, which was enacted in 1996 to be specifically renovating recreation and youth centers for youth, to really focus on enriching the youth of our city. So this Manchester Junior Art Center needed its own space, and so we took over. We are in the midst of taking over, I should say, renovating. There's a firehouse that is it's at the corner of 57th and Crenshaw. I don't know, hopefully many of you are familiar with it. It is, there's a farmer's market that also takes place there in the parking lot. And so we're undergoing renovations in the inside, in the interior. We do hope that the farmer's market stays, and then we continue having the connections with the farmer's market folks. And we're just kind of in the middle of designing what the space will look like. So my job is to reach out to the community, find out what the community needs are in terms of youth programming. So I've been in touch with folks from LA Commons, from some of the schools, from Whitehall Academy, and there's some other organizations that I've been trying to reach out to really get a feel for what's happening there, and then how we can kind of fill in the gaps. My job is to complement the programming that's happening, we don't want to duplicate efforts. So I've been trying to reach out to people who provide youth services and people who provide art services. So I don't know if that gives you kind of the big picture stuff. We have had 2 community meetings so far to let us know what kind of programming the community wants to see. So we hold these community meetings and they're advertised through the Bureau of Engineering, which is the department that's actually doing, the renovation. I'm just sort of, I guess, consulting on the programming, what should be there. And when we hold our future meetings, which I think the next one will be in September, I will reach out to this group. So we'd love to, really invite all the voices in to make sure, we're getting the programming done that as you all want it done. It's, I always like to say it's not our space, it's your space, it's tax dollars, community money. So we should really be reflecting what you all want there.
Go ahead, Johnny. Quick question, this is John. Have you reached out to the neighborhood council in that area?
Yeah, so I attended the Park Mesa council meeting it was a couple months ago now. I can't remember. I think it was March. But I did attend the council meeting, and I do hope I did a very, very short presentation at that time because I was really new to the project, and so I didn't have much to share. But yes, we are in touch with the neighborhood council.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. No, any suggestions you have, I greatly appreciate it.
Okay.
Any comments or questions for Ms. Davis? Okay, well, thank you very much for your presentation, and you might let the folks know back in the office that whoever it is that represents the building, the vision building issues is welcome to our meetings, and we'd like to hear from them since they've been absent for quite some time.
Yeah, for sure. I will let her know.
Good luck with your work. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Sure. All right. Let's see. Milan, you're here. I wanted to give you an opportunity to speak to the extent that you want to share with us. So the floor is yours. Why don't you go ahead?
Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. I wanted to come in personally and say thank you so much for deciding to help with the cost of the printing of stickers and the programs for Sika's community block party. It really means a lot to me. I think it's going to be a really beautiful event and everyone's going to get to enjoy it. And I know he'll be smiling down on all of us. I've had this meeting on my calendar probably for years. My dad always wanted me to be in it. And so I intend to be in it from here on out. And I just wanted to give a quick update on everything going on with the store at this point. Mark Bradford, the owner of the building, has asked us to vacate by August 15th. I have lawyers who are fighting to get me a little bit more time, and then also sending a demand letter to try to renegotiate some sort of lease. He has not responded yet, and nobody from his team has responded. It's, of course, very heartbreaking. I don't want to leave that space, but if I have to, it just is what it is. I have to protect my father's legacy. And yeah, that's where I'm at with things. I'm in a space of gratitude. I feel a lot of support from the community and beyond, and I'm very thankful. And I'll just be happy to be on the other side of this time of things. But I appreciate everyone. And yeah, if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Yeah, thank you.
Milan, this is Johnny. You want to, just in case everyone doesn't know, you want to give us the date and time for the event?
Oh, okay. The block party is on August 10th. It starts at 11 a.m. and it's right on Degnan.
Okay.
There's a stage in the Sika Dwimfo corridor in that area. And it'll just be centered around music, food, fun, and just community.
Okay.
Okay.
Jason, if you can hear me, are you gonna put this in your paper?
Yes. I've seen the flyers, so I'll put the flyers on the LA Standard, the Facebook and the Instagram page. So I'll help promote it. Yeah, and I might be going to print after the event. So if you have some pictures, I could put those in the newspaper. If I come out before the event, then I'll run the flyer in the newspaper.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, and real quick, I did have a quick comment because almost every meeting we have, I ask about the buildings that Art and Practice own. So it's unfortunate to hear that they're pushing you out, because it seems like we in this group don't have any communications with them. So I'm not sure if anyone has gotten in contact with them since last month when we spoke about this.
We are trying. We haven't been successful yet, but we are trying.
I was told by CD10 that there was some meeting that is calendared. And I asked what the date was, and I was told I would get some response today about that. They bought our building kind of suspiciously. And well, the circumstances around that were suspicious, I'll say. And I think that this is something that we need to be a bit more vocal about as it relates to community intention, desire, blight that has been perpetuated, the silence, and not just from the entity itself, but from their supporters. To be completely honest, you are complicit if you support the folks that create blight and are pushing our longest standing retail space out of commission at the worst possible time. And I don't know, I feel like just not just heartbroken for the insult of the request to vacate, but just by the fact that we've been quiet about the infraction against the full community that has persisted for some years at this point.
Yeah, so for like just my portion of things, and of course, like I want to be crystal clear to everybody, like this is so much bigger than just Mark Bradford pushing me out. Yes, this is big, it's disrespectful, it's hurtful during a time like I'm kind of a shell of myself because I lost my dad and my best friend, my business partner, my everything. And so for them to ask me to do this like 32 years in 30 days is really heartbreaking. But it's bigger than that because my dad fought for this community and I intend to as well. And it's bigger than that because now this man owns 90% of Leimert Park, and whatever he's trying to do, I promise you, it doesn't serve anyone in this group or in our community. It's a self-serving situation. And for me, I've been kind of quiet because I just want to get everything together with my lawyers and things, but I fully intend to take this to every media outlet that I have connections with, and that's not just Los Angeles. I have folks in New York that are interested in this story. I have folks everywhere that are interested, and I really want to bring light to what he's doing because they're trying to change the cultural fabric of our neighborhood, and it's very important that we don't let that happen because not just Sika, there's so many people who came before him who fought to keep this neighborhood the way that it is, and that's Black and strong. And whatever Mark Bradford's doing, it's not to serve any of us.
And just as a point of note, there's been an effort for some time to find all of the ways to establish Leimert Park as a Black Arts and Culture District. We know that it is that, but to have the official designations for that. So changing that cultural fabric actually impacts what that looks like, what that is. And while I believe that there can be a place for fine art, I don't know that it is the full view of what Black Los Angeles, or how we can represent Black Los Angeles. And personally, I think it's a bit offensive to use the art of Black artists and the subjects that they find important enough to create based on to advance the agenda of becoming a developer. And so, you know, I do remember, like I said, or like, you know, many people here know, my family's been in Leimert Park since the 40s. And I remember seeing different, like, constituent-based initiatives, like everything from the like lawn signs that said Save Leimert when the community did not want big box stores taking over the village, and just wondering where that spirit is now and how we can be like I've talked to a million people about this issue. And the reality is we have a community mind, though we disagree about so many other points. There's one point, this one, that whatever their agenda is, unspoken or not, the movements that they've made are not not for community. And for some reason, we haven't figured out how to coalesce behind that, making that very clear. And so my ask here is for us to think about what that looks like and how we can use every corner of the pieces that we have some agency over to be clear that the vision is a lot more inclusive than we are seeing their movements reflect.
Yeah, well, as I guess everybody can tell from the nature of the conversation, this is it's a lot bigger than any one person. It's an issue that's ongoing. It's very perplexing because you know, Mark is a product of Leimert Park Village. He worked here. He, you know, had his residency here. He got his ideas for the foundations of his art from the beauty shop, from picking up head curlers on the floor. He got, you know, his basic technique here. And what he's doing now doesn't represent anything close to what the original thrust of artists who were here brought to the village. They're the ones who brought, you know, this whole idea of African artists, African American artists, and having a forum for their presentation, etc. So it's very perplexing, and it's worthy of a lot deeper dive than we can do here. And it sounds like the spirit of organization is about, and I would encourage that it has to be moved on, and there's got to be it's got to be done from a political legal perspective, in the sense that this is bigger than just one or two people doing something. This has a it has a thrust to it that's much bigger. It sounds and feels political, and it's definitely got roots in legal issues. So in order to attack it properly, it's going to have to be done from a legal perspective, and as well as a community political perspective. So this needs to happen outside of this particular meeting, but I think the word is out to the community at large that we're not going to just sit down and watch this or sit idly by while things like what's happening are being perpetrated, and the idea that the community is being blighted by the presence of this organization that's buying up property and not renting it out, not properly maintaining it, and in fact destroying one of the place where where the cleaners was. That building is now uninhabitable because it doesn't even have a roof. It was destroyed in various degrees by the owners. So honestly, I really don't know what their objective is, and I don't know if anybody does, but there needs to be a focused meeting or set of meetings that bring together the entire interest of the community to this subject. So I'm going to leave it there, and I think the wheels are already in motion.
Can I,
Can we draft a
can I,
letter?
oh,
Can we
sorry.
draft a-
Is that
can we draft
Kiana?
a letter?
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, sorry, Amani, I know you were also speaking. I was just going to say, what are the next steps here? And I hear you on like, this needs to be an effort from a community perspective and also a legal perspective. And you also mentioned, potentially having an additional or separate conversation with this, but like, what is the plan for that? Because I do think that we need to, I want to make sure this isn't something that just gets sort of raised up here and then either, sort of fizzles out, or, like some people get involved with it and not everybody. So how do we become strategic in how we approach this? I would love to be a part of that conversation. And I think it would be great to also have some of the neighboring like the residents in this conversation as well, because I personally heard that a lot of people don't particularly want to go on to Degnan to, shop or participate because of the blight of it all. So I think there's a bigger conversation and a lot of conversations that need to happen. And I want to just make sure that on this call, we're not just saying that these things need to happen, but there's no plan or no information being communicated about what we're doing and when and where people can check in.
Well, let me answer this. Let me respond this way. There's an old adage, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And I think this is one of those times when, first of all, Milan has a real issue. It's a kind of a, it's a personal, it's a life and death issue in terms of the business that her father created and brought her in to learn and to operate and bequeath to her. And she's now in the midst of dealing with that issue. I think we need to let her move forward with the efforts that she's got underway, which involve having legal representation. And let's let that clear. But at the same time, we need to have some meetings going forward. And I feel uncomfortable trying to organize that here in this open forum like this, because I think things leak and get distorted. And we need to be very clear and straightforward about what we're trying to do and accomplish. And I think we need to let Milan's issue move forward immediately, and we can find a way to organize in the aftermath. I mean, that's my position. I don't know how other people feel.
Well, right now, also,
Go ahead. We got Imani, and then we've got
sorry, Mike.
Jason.
yeah, and then Jason. Go ahead,
Imani.
Imani.
Yes, I was thinking we could draft a letter demanding a meeting from Mark and also draft a letter of support for Milan.
Well, I mean that, we've asked for meetings with Art and Practice before, and they've been non-responsive. They used to come to these meetings. They used to have a representative that we could talk to, and they stopped participating. So, yeah, we can have a statement of support for Milan. That's not a problem at all. And I mean, we're on record. Leimert Park Village Inc. is on record as supporting Milan and her efforts, and we back her 100%. So, I mean, I think that's already done, and I'm sure she's aware of that. So let's let the air clear with Milan's effort, and let's let her situation guide how we move forward, so that we don't want to do something that's going to step on her ability to get her issue cleared, because hers is, as I said, it's a survival issue. I mean, Sika's been there for 30 years plus, and they get a 30-day notice to quit right after the death of Sika. Milan didn't even have the man's ashes, and she just gave birth to a child. I mean, this is barbaric, So she's got a big issue, and I don't want to do anything. I don't want to be the leader of anything that would get in the way of her getting her issue dealt with, except to say that I think the community is completely behind her, and those who aren't, they haven't been heard from, and I hope they stay quiet on this issue. Karen, and
Jason was next.
Oh, Jason, I'm sorry, Jason and Karen.
Hey, so I'm all on board to publish a story on this in the LA Standard newspaper. So whatever you guys need for media attention, I'd like to jump on this story, because I walk down into the Leimert Park often and see half the places are closed up, and it's annoying when I go to other parts of the city and you see all the stores are in business and it's lively and stuff like that. And Leimert Park seems to come alive in weekends because people show up, but it should be like that on a daily basis if these places were open. So again, I'm all in to write a story on this.
Okay, thank you. Karen?
Milan, I just want to say how sorry I am that you're having to go through this, first of all. It's just really unconscionable. And, I do think, following up on what Jason is saying, that, because of the extreme nature of this action, that it's an opportunity to pull attention on the issue. And so I think, really thinking strategically how to align with what's happening with Milan, so that the community's agenda can be served. I feel like that's the opportunity. And I mean, Jason obviously is within the family, so to speak, so he can put it out there, but are there other opportunities to put it out there? Because I'm just worried for you, Milan. I want this to end well. And often it takes media attention to deal with situations like this. So But I do think your interests are aligned with the interests of the neighborhood, obviously. So I have one sort of logistical question. How long is the block party going to last?
The block party, it's scheduled to be from 11 to 6. I
Okay,
just
perfect.
take into account that people will probably get there a little late, you know.
Yeah.
But I planned on doing like the libation and like that portion of things around about 1. So I figured
Perfect.
people would be there who were interested in that portion of things, you know, by that time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one more thing because everyone was saying things in relation to, I want the media and everything. I think that I just like, I've been like scared because like I think what like Mark Bradford is doing is diabolical. And in the beginning, like I had hope that he was going to respond to me because he was a colleague of my father's and my father was friends with him. So I kept like waiting out like, no, this is just protocol and I'm going to hear something back from him. And so I like didn't want to do anything because it like feels like I don't want to do anything to like further upset him. And I know that sounds crazy because I shouldn't even be in this position, but I think that's why I've been just like waiting. But I mean, I definitely am going to speak about this at the block party while I have everyone's attention because I know I will have a very large audience that day. And Heather Hutt and Holly Mitchell are both involved. I let them know as soon as this happened. So that's why CD10 was trying to get the meeting with Mark Bradford and things like that. So like there are things going into play. I'm fine with stories coming out about it. I think I just kind of started to feel like, well, if my goal, whatever my goal is, he's going to be more upset when he sees like this media outlash, but it has to happen. And I understand that like this can't be a silent thing because like I said, it's bigger than just me and Sika, and he's trying to change what our neighborhood truly is, and that's dangerous for so many reasons.
Thank you. Marie? Marie?
Yes, good morning. I was mute. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to join in the chorus of outrage that Milan, is going through this. And Milan, I wanted to know, I think the media outreach and the media blowing it up in the media is probably the most effective way to do it. And I will assist, support, in any way that I can. And Jason, writing the story, if you need any support in that area or any assistance, writing is one of the things that I do better than some other things. So I'm more than happy to jump in and help. That's about what I have to say at this point. Thank you.
Kiana? Kiana?
I'm here, sorry. Just again, in support of what Karen was saying about, like us being strategic and perhaps like some of these efforts being made sort of in conjunction with Milan's effort to be really strategic here. I think with all of what is happening and hopefully with the support of press, we can sort of really kind of push this. So Clint, I know you mentioned, potentially setting up a separate conversation about it. I think we just need to make sure that we're all like aligned on what the ask is and utilize that to support Milan's situation, which is awful, by the way, and then also see what we can do about kind of moving forward to preserve what we think is important for our neighborhood. So that's it. I want to be helpful is basically the long and short of what I just said.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or? So I think.
I can.
There's Dwight over there. Dwight, go ahead.
As you know, Clinton and a lot of other people know that this is not the first time that they have revealed who they are and what their intentions are. When they first bought the building, and I wish Sika was alive because he knows that the world stage went through so much with these people. They were right next door to the world stage, and they would not talk to us about anything. And every week they would continue to have the management company trump up all kinds of things on us, and they were pushing us out just like they did Milan, you know, with those, they wouldn't give you anything but a month-to-month lease. And that is part of the reason why we left there, and we were going to rent the place right across the street. And when they found out that we were renting the place across the street, they jumped in and bought the building right quick. And one of the conditions of them buying that building was that they could not give a lease to us at the world stage. That was one of the conditions of them buying the building, and they bought it the day that we were going to sign the lease. And that's why we could not move into the place over there. I can't think of the guy who was the upholstery person who owned that building.
Mr. Manrique.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that's how we wound up moving into the BOTAC building, because we had to have a place to go to. Otherwise, we would have been on the street as well. So I know that these people are completely unscrupulous. And if there's any support or any witness or anything that you need me to do or the world stage, we will be most happy to come and do it. I mean, we went through a whole lot with them, and there was a lady from the LA Weekly back when the Weekly was thriving, and she was doing an on them, and it was about them and the Hammer Museum and all of that stuff. And so somebody told her, if you really want to know the truth about these people, call Dwight. And so when she called me and I told her about everything about what was going on, so then when she went back to them, then they shut her out and would not talk to her anymore. And then the paper and her got a letter saying that if you publish this story, that we will not look kindly on your paper, and we will kill this lady's career. And that article never came out until maybe 6 or 7 years ago on some Canadian blog site. That it never came out in the paper. So this is the kind of people that you're dealing with. I mean, they were our next door neighbor. They would not have a meeting with us. They would not talk to us. They didn't even claim that they owned the place. They kept saying that they're renting just like us, and it was in the newspaper that they owned the place. So I know what you're dealing with right now.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Kaya?
Is that
Hey
Kaya?
everyone.
Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
hey everyone, Kaya here. I just wanted to jump in and say that Milan, Nigel, and I are really working on relaunching We Love Leimert. And as our first campaign, we are working on developing a strategy on how to respond strategically to what's happening with Sika shop, and how to get Mark Bradford's attention, utilizing media, and then also organizing with other community members. We're working on launching a monthly or bi-weekly organizing space. So for everyone that has said that they want to support Milan, please know that we're working on this, and I definitely want to invite you all to join us in organizing. I'm going to drop our organizing form in the chat. So if you are interested in supporting with this effort, please fill out that Google form, and just know that we're working on it, and we appreciate everyone's support. And are definitely looking to use it as an opportunity to build a more cooperative and collaborative culture in Leimert Park Village. As I think whoever owns Altiel was talking about earlier, there are many points.
Janelle.
Janelle, yes, as Janelle was saying earlier, there are many points where we differ in terms of our ideology, but we all truly hold the value of community as first and foremost. And I feel like, you know, in the grander picture of things, in the grander scheme, everyone wants to have a Leimert Park that is preserved for and by the Black community. So I think this is really an important opportunity for us to figure out how we can work in coalition with one another and organize and collaborate and cooperate despite the minutia or the small differences in ideology that we may hold. So again, the call to action, if you're interested in supporting us in designing and launching this campaign to raise awareness, just fill out that form in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you. Billion.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, so Africatown Coalition, again, this is why we claim this as our Africatown, because this is basically a white agenda. B. Hall says it's whiteification of our communities. And from the Mert who initially tried to keep us out to these entities that are now coming to push us back out, this is why we've pressed the line against a number of different entities that we have. And I know different campaigns, some people in the community have, can you tell Kevin I'm on the meeting? Some people have taken opposition to us, not really seeing that our intention is to preserve this area. But just going into one, I think if Dwight, if you could include your story and whatever goes out about this, just showing an example of the outcome that these people produce, but also right now they have a campaign printed on their windows that is creating a lot of tension in the community. It's basically a campaign of basically saying a man attacked a woman, and then the second window says, while other men stood around and watched. While we know this is something that many women can relate to, we also know on the opposite end, there are a lot of abuses men suffer at the hands of women. And it's reckless of them to put that out there without knowing the type of triggering this is causing in the community, but it's consistent with other campaigns art and practice have had. They had a prison industrial exhibit a couple years ago, but they did nothing but bust in Latino white kids from other areas, and a lot of people took issue with that. So from every angle, when you monitor this group, you can see they're not here to uphold what this community has become. So we most definitely are on board with whatever pushback needs to happen. And if more people, I don't know how many other who are actually on that block right now willing to speak out of fear of possibly becoming targets themselves. But if more of us could just start being honest about what's happening over here and stop, trying to hold on to whatever ties we think we have with these people temporarily, because any ties we have, they're not looking long term. And what I'm saying by that is we know the banks are feeding different people money right now, again, to win favor, to have their presence here. But we know the long-term agenda with all these people is to gradually remove all of us. And with a situation like art and practice is not just that they're owning a number of properties now, that gives them more political influence. That gives them more influence on a number of levels. So yeah, the more folks we can have in this coalition to push back is necessary, but also the more open we all could be about what exactly is happening, I think that would help dismantle what they're doing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I think we've covered everything that we probably can cover on this issue. Everybody who wants to be involved in moving forward on this, go to the chat, get the material that needs to be filled out and move forward on it. And Milan, I think it's clear to you now that the community is behind you. The only real issue is how do we move forward? And I think we have to protect your interests as a priority. And so I think what the community does has to follow what's best for you in this particular instance, so that no more harm is done to your situation. So we'll be in touch with you going forward. All right. Cherie, I see you joined us. You have any comments on the situation before we move forward? No, she's there. She's on another call. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
this is Cherie. Sorry, I'm with a family matter right now, but
Oh, okay.
I do, and I've done some research and things which I shared with Milan and Kaya, and we can talk about that in our next meeting.
Okay. All right. Good. Thanks. All right. So let's go to the for the good of the house. This is where we open the floor to everybody involved to share with us information that covers subject matter that we have not already discussed. So the floor is now open for that. Okay, for the good of the house. Anybody?
Well,
Okay.
I just wanted to
But
share, Clint, that,
Go ahead. Go.
you know, we have the Diane's is it Leimert Park Village Jazz Festival, but Leimert Park Village Inc. will start the survey during that period to talk to residents about, you know, what they'd like to see in Leimert and how they use the train and transportation to get to Leimert, and to share with them all the great things that are happening. So if anybody would like to share what they're doing, you're welcome to be in the booth. We'll have pictures of the developments that are happening, the businesses, you know, the merchants, the micro enterprises. We want to share everything that's happening in Leimert with people, and so they know and that they understand what's going on, and that they encourage them to use the train. And we'll talk about how we'll activate the station. So we welcome everybody. Just put in something in the text if you would like to do anything in the booth.
thanks. Okay, Dwight.
Well, first of all, I would certainly like to thank Johnny and Clint this weekend for being on top of things. We had a very important concert that was happening on Friday, and as everybody knows, that the parking lot was that's behind the world stage and was shut down. We had no knowledge that they were shutting down the parking lot at all. I just happened to come through there at noon to find out the parking lot was closed. And, you know, as you know, there's a lot of people from outside of the community and a lot of elderly people that come to our concerts. And so to find out that the parking lot was closed with
You muted yourself.
Clint and Johnny, and they got on it. And I just really appreciate that you were able to get that lot open so that we wouldn't have a disaster. Because as you know, there's been one lot that's been closed over there behind the liquor store and behind the church that's been closed for 2 years. And so we already really have a shortage of parking around in Leimert Park. And to have that lot closed would be just a total disaster. So I really appreciate the prompt efforts of Clint and Johnny to get that lot open, because it would have been a disaster to us. And the number two thing that I would just like to bring up, I think that the answer is not closing the parking lot when you have gang violence or shooting and stuff like that. The answer is that we need more police presence there. We're not talking about police brutalizing anybody or doing anything, but the police's job is to protect and serve. And I think that they need to at least roll through Leimert Park every 15 minutes. They don't have to get out of the car, but just their presence there, I think will stop people from getting involved in all that nefarious activity. The second quickly is in that big parking lot and around on Degnan, talking about this for years. In that parking lot, there is not one trash can there, not one trash can.
Yeah.
Trash. It is hot. You cannot get mad at people when they throw the trash on the ground if they have nowhere to put it. You know, and so before we blame the people for making the neighborhood look so terrible with all the trash on the ground, there needs to, I mean, I just can't imagine why it is that there is no trash cans in that big parking lot there. There should be at least 10 there, and there should be many more up and down Degnan. So we can't really blame the constituents for dropping trash on the ground when they have nowhere to put it at. And this should be a solution.
Dwight, I'm gonna take the liberty to answer you real quickly. I've been thinking for the last 3 days about one thing, and it's trash cans. And every time I roll through Leimert, I don't see them. When I was running the business improvement district, we bought 20 trash cans and put them throughout the area. And of course, we had to chain them down because otherwise they disappear. But you couldn't be more right on, and I think it needs to go to the city along with the business improvement district to correct the issue. And the business improvement district needs to get on the job and encourage the property owners to provide the trash bins so that their tenants will have a place to empty their trash. Because if you look around behind these shops, there are not that many trash bins because the property owners aren't complying with their requirement to provide trash bins for their tenants. That it's a separate subject, Dwight. That I wish you would take forward to the city and to the business improvement district, because they're the ones who can solve the problem.
I would be happy to.
Okay.
Andrew, you
got your hand up.
Yes, thank you so much. As we know, Governor Newsom's recent ruling on moving homeless encampments only moves people from one place to another. In the chat, I did put the location here in historic South Central Los Angeles, where we have about 10 slots available at this transitional sober living place. So if anyone's interested, please contact me. My information's in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you. Billion?
Yeah, just two things. I was gonna talk about security, but since Clint brought up the trash thing, yeah, we also have bought a number of trash cans over the years. We weren't locking ours down and they were getting stolen, but yeah, if businesses or property owners could help with that, we have people that are cleaning up the parking lot throughout the week. The issue has been the only regular available dumpsters has been the ones behind BLM's building. A lot of times after the trash is collected, is where can we put it? And we know most people keep theirs locked, but if there could be some type of joint effort to where when BLM's bins are full, we could use somebody else. But the security thing is something a number of people have been talking about to us and with different people, and between us, Second Call, and even some of the brothers in the back parking lot. A lot of people don't realize how much is diffused that goes unnoticed. And I'm saying that to say that it's really not the police that's keeping the area safe. It's those of us who are out here knowing the different youngsters, knowing or noticing different tensions when they happen, and we're able to de-escalate it. Quite often the police are just responding after something happens. That particular night when the shooting happened, from everything we understand, had there been folks paid to be out there around that time, that is a situation that also could have been de-escalated. So again, if we could look at working with folks who are here and helping them be more prepared, helping them cover more hours, because when Africa Town's here, we patrol as much as we can. A lot of folks have noticed over the years the difference in what takes place on Sundays. Even some Saturdays we are helping, but during those overnight hours, if we were able to compensate folks who know the community to be out there, we could also prevent some of the things that are happening during those hours. And just one last point, most of the youngsters who congregate in the back area are doing so out of, I don't want to say orders, but out of cooperation with some of their older homies to not bring that over on Degnan, to not take that up to the park. So it's been an agreement that if they come over here to this area, the parking lot is where they go, and even back there, they're nowhere near engaged in what you can go to other areas to see people in that same age group are engaged in. Just saying that to say there is a level of respect some of the local organizations have for what we're doing over here, but again, including them in resources and opportunity to then turn around and give to some of their youngsters to keep the youngsters involved in things more positive as opposed to what they find on their own time.
Thank you.
That's all.
Jason.
Hey, yeah, so a while ago, well, I think earlier this year, I let everyone know that I was starting a nonprofit component of the Los Angeles Standard newspaper. So I've been looking for a place, a venue to and to hold the classes and to create a photography exhibit. So I finally found a place. Well, actually, I've had this place the entire time. I just didn't want to use it at first. So it's on Martin Luther King and Third Ave. If you guys know where Worldwide Tacos is, the building next door to it, it was my father's tax office since the 1980s, and I've been using it as storage in my newspaper. So I decided to clean it out, and I'm going to use that as a photography exhibit, and I'll be able to teach classes in there. So I cleaned it out last week. It's getting painted this week, so I'm moving. So I'm moving quickly. I've never done a photography exhibit, so I need to figure that out and have the opening reception and stuff like that. So just letting you all know to be on the lookout. And when I have opening reception, I want everyone in this group to come and participate. And if anyone has any advice for me on how to do this, I'm welcome to ideas.
Thanks, Jason. Zeno.
Hey guys, just wanted to let you know after town be doing a session, it's a survival giveaway outside on Degnan in front of the Lion Gallery. So if you guys have any products that you could contribute, whether they are survival products like socks and underwear, organic tampons, or sanitizing wipes, or anything that you think anybody would actually need, or like food products, non-perishable or some perishable, just in case somebody not like.
We lost.
We lost you. Yeah.
Yeah. When is the event and where?
It's not necessarily, it's not like a dated event. It's going to just be an ongoing thing. So if you have supplies that you could, that you can donate, just bring them over to the Lions and just let Quincy or anybody else know that they're for Zeno.
Okay. Did you say to Lions?
Yeah, to the Lion Gallery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Johnny, this is Cherie. I can't find my hands up on my phone.
Okay.
Oh, can I say?
We got
add
Milan
something?
and then you, Cherie. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Milan.
I just touch about the trash situation that we were talking about, because it's been an issue in Leimert Park for many, many years, even on our side of the street. Even just for like businesses having trash, it hasn't been a thing. And of course, I just like, in case anybody wasn't realizing, that's just another tactic. It's like, let's make Leimert Park dirty, then we can call it dirty, but then we don't have any trash cans to even clean things up. And it just creates more of like, when you go over to Larchmont, it's not like that. When you go to these other areas of town, when you're in Culver, it's not like that. But over here it is, because it's just by design to keep us not unified. And so if we can all come together, like Janelle was saying, like just put all these side things to the side. We all have a commonality, even like what Billion was saying with, I understand, people want everybody to do what they want them to do. But like, even the fact that those young kids are like, we are not on Degnan anymore. That's progress. That's showing that we all can work together for the greater good. That's all I wanted to say.
Thanks. Cherie.
Yes, three things. One, I will echo Clint. So you guys know, once the property-based business improvement district is formed, the city of LA moves away from that. That's what you see in these other communities. They have bids. And so this is directly under the responsibility of the Business Improvement District. That's what the taxes are collected for from the property owners, is to pay for trash collection and cleanup. So yes, let's get that over to the bid. They should be paying for trash cans and cleanup on a regular basis. And that's the primary, and then the city is supplemental to that. So we should also alert the council office, because they're the ones helping to control the contract with the bids. I just wanted to clarify that. Also, former Councilwoman Jan Perry is with a new nonprofit partnership, a nonprofit for donated items. I heard the gentleman just speaking about items that he was needing. And so Leimert Park Village Inc. or any other nonprofit could sign up with them to be the recipient of to be the organization to make sure that they deliver products that you need for giveaway to people who are in need. So we can do that. And but Leimert Park Village Inc., we work because in partnership with others. So we need a partnership organization to say that they want to be responsible for receiving these items. So if you would like to, we would like to go after those products for giveaway with you. And then LA Metropolitan Churches, in partnership with the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, has gotten the county to do a grant for up to $10,000 to pay for organizations to come up with an action plan or training on how to manage their unhoused population and get them placed and resource and referral. And then once that is done with your plan, then there's going to be additional funding available. Again, Leimert Park Village Inc. could be the nonprofit, but we need partners who are willing to create the plan, say what's happening in terms of helping the unhoused now, and we could pay one of the organizations here or another organization to actually prepare the plan. They would like it done before the end of the year. So if anyone on the phone is interested, let us know. We've helped about 40 other community-based organizations and faith-based organizations apply for the funding. And once you get in there, then you can have money. We go after money for operating and support and all the things that you guys are doing. So please let us know.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess that's it for the bit of the house. And if there's no other business to come before the group, then we'll adjourn, and we will see you next month.
Next month will be on the 9th because Labor Day.
Yeah, Labor Day is on. Yeah, Labor Day is actually the first Monday, so it'll be on the 9th. That's correct. Yeah. All right. And in the meantime, remember that you can join the effort to move on forward on this issue relative to art and practice by getting the document out of the chat and filling it out and submitting it. And what else? I guess that's about it.
I think that's it.
All
Thanks
right. We'll
again.
look forward to seeing everybody at Sika celebration, and also at the Leimert Park Village Jazz Festival, which is on the 29th, I believe. Okay. All right, everybody, have a good month.
All right, take care.
All right, goodbye.
Clint, don't end the meeting. I'm getting the info from the chat.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think we recorded. Hold on.
And Clint, I can't save the chat on my phone, so I'll be sending you an email request if you saved it.
You know what? Let me do this really quick so we can save it. Let me just start the. But the recording probably won't get it because it's starting too late. Hold on. Let me just. Now we have to copy it, and Andrew, I don't think that they saved everything, so I'm copying it right now from the chat. So if you could do the same, we'll stay on for a minute to do that. I appreciate it.
That's my challenge here. I can't do it on my phone, but if you inbox me, I'd appreciate it.
I'm doing it now. Give me a moment.
Cherie, I'm going to call you in about 10 minutes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Give me one moment to copy this.
Sure.
Okay. Let's see, chat. Oh, hard to do this on my phone, but okay. Just getting the good information.
Okay, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna just go to my house and something, and then I'm gonna grab some salads from like Simply Salad.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
so they'll have something to eat.
So you want, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I could, I have some cash. I could sell you probably as I don't.
Yeah.
I'll sell you.
Tell me.
Yeah, okay.
Jennifer is too. So we'll-
Okay. Okay. All right.
I am retired, but I do have a little.
Oh, yeah, I'm on a call now, so I'll stay here and work from here. Okay, thank you, Leslie. Okay, I'll Zell money to your phone number.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll figure. Okay, just let me know. We're still waiting for the doctor to come and confirm the death because they're not calling the coroner, so they're just waiting to get in contact with. We found his medical cards, and so we're gonna they're calling those doctors now, and then I called them Woodbury, Harrison, Ross, and they're gonna be. They have to wait till the doctor makes a declaration, so we're gonna be here for a minute. Okay, but we're waiting for the Lisa's daughter to get here so we can hold a formal goodbye because they need to say goodbye.
So the detective's not coming.
The detective, she's trying to coordinate with everybody now. Apparently, there's not a lot of people at the sheriff's department right now. Yeah.
Because when Beverly died, the coroner never came. The detective declared it and we released the body.
That's what they're not able to do it. So if the detective can come or the doctor, either one. So they don't have either one right now still. Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Beverly passed. We were there for about, we were there for 8 hours.
Yeah, well, that's what's going to happen today at this point, but we don't, I mean, he's probably, this is, yeah.
It's Beverly now, and they probably been this since 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you. It is open and Leslie's going to get some salads and things. We'll get some food shortly. Yes, but as soon as the daughter gets here, we'll do the goodbye. Thank you. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm still trying to copy this stuff. Yeah. Where is my Zoom? Oh, okay. Copy. Okay. Okay, I'm ending the meeting. Looks like I have everything from the chat.